In this video, we are going to discuss about damping of seedling that is caused by the pathogen Pythium aphanidermatum that is causing the pre-emergence and post-emergence damping of a vegetable seedling. Here we will discuss the symptom, favorable condition and about the management practices also. So see this video till the end and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Hello friends, welcome to my channel Plant Pathology Pathshala. I am Jumishri Meher, PhD scholar from Banaras Hindu University. So let's start today's video. First is damping of seedling. Let's discuss some facts about the damping of seedling. As we know that this is caused by the pathogen Pythium aphanidermatum. This is a Oomycetes fungi. The phylum is Oomycota, the class is Oomycetes, and the order is Peronospores, and the family is Pythiaceae. The main characteristics of this phylum or this pathogen is it is having the cellulose in the cell wall. Okay, generally the fungi are containing the chitin in the cell wall, but in this group of fungi, that is the Oomycetes group of fungi, cellulose is present in the cell wall. So this is the most important character. Then this genus, that is the Pythium, was first established by Princem in 1858. All over the world, more than 200 species are found. But this one, Pythium aphanidermatum, this is first studied by Hesse in 1874 in Germany. Okay, this damping off is a soil-borne disease because the pathogen, that is the Pythium aphanidermatum, it produces the oospore, that is the sexual resting spore produced by the fungus. It can perpetuate in soil for a longer period, and the oospore are acting as the primary source of infection. It germinates and infect the host or plants. So by this disease is soil borne in nature. Next is the symptom. Based on the stage of plant on which this disease is occurring, or the based on the symptom development, this disease can be divided into two categories. First one is pre-emergence damping off and second one is post-emergence damping off. The name only suggests that pre means before the emergence of seedling, the damping off is occurring. Whereas in this case, post means after the emergence of seedling, the damping off is occurring. So let's discuss both this one by one. First one is pre-emergence damping off, means before the emergence of seedling, that is at the time of germination of seed. So when a seed germinates, it will produce a radicle and a fumule. This infection of the damping of pathogen occur in the radicle and fumule. It rotten the radicle and fumule, and so this seed will fail to germinate and no germination will take place. That sometimes we assume that that seed is not good, that's why it is not germinating, but that germination failure is maybe due to the pre-emergence damping of. Okay, if you dig out that seed, then you may found some fungal growth over that seed or seed rotting you can see there. The next is the post-emergence damping off, means after the emergence of the seedling, this damping off is occurring. In this condition, this plant portion, that is just near the soil surface or the below ground part, are infected by the plant, and it result in killing of the host tissue or rotting of the host tissue. That result the toppling of the plant. That seedling will fall. Okay, so this is about the damping of symptom. that is pre-emergence damping off of the seed rotting, you can see, whereas the post-emergence damping off, it in this condition, toppling over of the seedling or the falling of the seedling occur. So this is about the symptom. The next is about the favorable condition that trigger the disease. First one is abundant moisture and warm condition. If the soil is not well drained and moisture is there, then this pathogen will grow rapidly and disease will intensify. If it is coupled with the warm temperature, okay. The next is the soil temperature, that is between the 20 to 28 degrees Celsius. This also this also favors the disease development. Then overwatering, generally in nursery stage or in nursery condition, if you overwater the plant, the disease will mostly occur in that condition. Next is thick sowing in seed bed causing heavy stand, means if the seed bed or the nursery is sowing in a thick manner, means high density sowing is there, more seed are planted in a less space, then the moisture or the humidity will be more and this favors the disease development. And then the lack of aeration and sad condition also favors this disease. Let's discuss about the pathogen that is causing the damping of our vegetables, that is the Pythium aphanidermatum. First is the mycelium. Its mycelium is cynocytic in nature, means multinucleated nature, because the crosswell or the septa is absent. Here you can see there is no septa is present and the thallus or the mycelium is multinucleated nature. The next one is hyaline. Hyaline means colorless. The hypha or the mycelium is colorless in nature. The next one is endophytic. Endophytic means the mycelium or the hypha directly puncture into the host cell and obtain its nutrient. Okay, but some fungi are growing outside the host cell and by the production of special organ it will obtain its nutrient. So that type of fungi are called as ectophytic fungi. That example is powdery mildew fungi. But here the pythium is endophytic in nature. It is growing inside the host cell. Then this intracellular means directly it will puncture the host cell without formation of any hostoria. Okay. Then it is homothallic in nature. Homothallic means, homo means same, thallic means the thallus. Okay, so inside a same thallus, both the sex organ, that is the antheridium and the oogonium, will form, which produce the oospore by the method of gametangial contact. So the sexual reproduction performed by the method of gametangial contact. There is no need of two thallus or two strains of thallus as it is needed in the case of Phytophthora. Okay. Then it is of paragynous type. That gametangial contact is of paragynous type. Here in this photo you can see this female sex organ, that is the oogonium, and the male sex organ, that is the antheridium, are lying side by side. Okay, whereas in case of Phytophthora the sexual reproduction is of amphigynous type. If you want to know more about Phytophthora, you can see my previous video. Okay, link is given in the description section. Then by the method of sexual reproduction, it produces the sexual resting spore, that is the oospore, that is the zygote, and it is in 2N condition, that is the diploid condition. But by meiosis and after that repeated mitosis is occurring, and by this the 2N oospore will convert it to N nucleus, okay, that later differentiated to form the zoospore. Then about the asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, this fungi can performed in two ways, that is either by production of zoospore or by production of conidium sporangia. Okay, as we all know that when a spore is formed inside a closed structure, that is called as sporangiospore. Okay, and that closed structure is called as sporangia. Okay, here in this photo you can see here, this one is the sporangia. Okay, so this sporangia, inside this sporangia zoospores are formed. Means each nucleus of the sporangia are differentiated into biflagellated reniform zoospores. Okay, these zoospore are biflagellated in nature, means two flagella are present, that is one is tinsel type and another is the whiplash type, and it is reniform in shape. Reniform in shape means it is kidney shape. But this zoospore formation takes place inside a vesicle. Okay, from this sporangia, a vesicle will emerge, and inside that, the zoospore will differentiate it. Means each nucleus of the sporangia or the sporangia will differentiate it into the zoospores, or the flagella formation will be takes place. This zoospore formation are generally depend on the environmental condition, that is, if the moist environmental condition is there, then zoospore will be produced, and the zoospore can swim and infect the new plants. But when the environmental condition is dry, that time the juice sporangia or the sporangia will behave as a conidia, and it is called as conidiosporangia. These are dispersed by air. Okay, so in moist condition, zoospore will form, whereas in dry condition, conidiosporangia are formed, which are air dispersed by air and infect the new hosts. Next is about the disease cycle. So before knowing about the disease cycle, first discuss the inoculum. Inoculum may be the primary inoculum or the secondary inoculum. So here the primary inoculum for the disease development is the oospore, that is the sexual resting spore that is hibernating in the soil. Okay, whereas the secondary inoculum or the secondary spread is occur through the zoospore or the conidiosporangia. In moist or high humidity condition, zoospores are produced, whereas in dry condition, conidiosporangia are produced, which are air dispersed and it spread the disease. Whereas the zoospore, it swim in the water and it spread the disease. So this is about the inoculum. So let's start the cycle. So first is the oospore. When this oospore get a favorable environmental condition and a susceptible host is there, then the zoospore will germinate. Okay, this germination is triggered by some exudate that is released from the host root cells. Okay, this by the receiving this exudates or these chemicals, this activation of oospore occur. This oospore then germinate and infect the plants. Okay, so now the plants are infected, then the pathogen will multiply itself, and for the further spread it produce the sporangia. Okay, that is the asexual fruiting body. So bulbous sporangia are produced based on the environmental condition. If the condition is dry, then the sporangia are behave as conidia or conidiosporangia, and it will disperse by air and it spread from one plant to another plant. Whereas if the condition is moist, then this from the sporangia a vesicle will produce. Okay, and the nucleus that is present in the sporangia will transfer into the vesicle, and in this vesicle juice spore differentiation will take place and juice spore will produce, that is the reniform biflagellated juice spores, and this juice spore will swim for a period, then encyst, and then germinate and infect the susceptible host and spread the disease. So, this is the asexual reproduction cycle. When again the environmental condition is unfavorable for the growth of disease or the host is not available, then it undergo sexual reproduction, that is gamete angial contact. Okay, that is a paragyny type, means two sex organ, that is the female one is oogonium and the antheridium, that is the male sex organ. They will lie side by side and they are generally homothallic in nature, means from a same thallus both are produced. So this, by the gametangial contact, they will produce the oospore, that is the sexual resting spore. Okay, again when favorable condition come and the susceptible host is there, that time the oospore will germinate and infect the plant. So this is the primary spread, and the secondary spread occur through the sporangia or the juice spore. Okay, so this is about the disease cycle. The next is the management. For the management, 5 important points are there, that is proper seed bed preparation, then the manipulation of watering system, then application of improved cultural practices, then seed treatment and soil treatment. So we will discuss all this one by one. So the first one is proper seed bed soil preparation. Effort should be made to secure the seedbed soil free from the damping of fungus or the oospore. The seedbed soil should be light, having good proportion of sand. Pure fine sand or sawdust is also suitable medium for growing the seedling. Then the manure used in seedbed should be well decomposed and the seedbed should be at a raised level to maintain the water drainage. Okay, if it is in a height, then the excess water will removed. Okay, so this is all about the seed bed preparation. This the manipulation of watering system, means we must not flood the seed bed. Okay, at frequent interval irrigation must be given and the soil must be little bit dry. It must not like that this plant is suffering from lack of water. Okay, so frequent irrigation is given and water must not be in a logging condition. Water logging should be avoided. The next is the application of improved cultural practices, like overcrowding of the seedling must be avoided, then proper drainage must be there. Okay, and then this seed bed must be prepared at a raised condition. So these are some improved cultural practices that must be applied. Then the soil treatment. Soil treatment is very important because this disease is soil borne in nature. So we have to kill the oospores. Okay, so that can be done in 3 methods, that is by use of steam or by use of dry heat or by use of different chemicals. So steam, so by the use of autoclave we can sterilize the soil that is going to used in this seed bed preparation. Okay, so we can sterilize the soil by the use of moist heat in the autoclave. Okay, so this is about the steam. The next is the dry heat. So the soil which is going to used in the nursery or for the seedbed preparation, over that we can burn a wood. Okay, so that dry heat must penetrate that soil and sterilization can be done. Okay, So this is all about the dry heat. Then chemical. Most important chemical which is used for soil sterilization is formaldehyde. Okay, so formaldehyde can be used to sterilize the soil, which we will are going to use in the seed bed preparation. Next is the seed treatment. Seed treatment can be done with protective chemicals like Captain or Blytox 50. Okay, so this is all about the seed treatment. That is, we have to treat the seed before the sowing. Okay, and other chemicals also we can use like metalaxyl, dithium 45, dithium Z78. These are also chemicals that we can do the soil drenching. Okay, or we can apply as dust or spraying. Okay, so this is all about the management of damping of. So this is the end of this video. If you found this video useful for you, please let me know in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe my channel. If you want to connect me in Instagram and Facebook, please see the description section. Link is given there. Thank you for watching this video.